Good morning. Hello and welcome to Neighborhood Unitarian Universalist Church in Pasadena. Welcome to all members, friends, and guests, here in person and virtually. My name is Mara Lepaluoto, and I am a member of your Board of Trustees. Neighborhood Church creates and grows an inclusive community of faith connected by love, spirit, and service. We acknowledge our presence on the ancestral and unceded territory of the Gabrielino Tongva peoples, the traditional caretakers of the lands and waters of this campus. With respect for the rights and wisdom of Indigenous people, we acknowledge our harmful colonial histories and commit to decolonizing our own practices, to learning new ways of being in community and with each other, in good relationship with the Indigenous people of this land and with the land itself. Today's service is led by Senior Minister Reverend Dr. Omega Burkhart, with music by Music Director Dr. Zenaida Robles. Please take a moment to silence your devices as we begin our service. Thank you for joining us as we continue to prioritize connection over perfection in this hybrid service, which is streamed and recorded on YouTube. Families with young children are welcome in the sanctuary or the narthex. Today, after the service, we have a drop-in chalice circle at 1 p.m. in the dining room, and also the writing group will meet at 1 p.m. in room 23. And please don't forget to purchase your Yule log today on the patio, which will support our senior high group. Also, see the newsletter for the schedule of holiday events in December at Neighborhood, including a Christmas concert on December 15th. Please note that on Sunday, December 24th, Christmas Eve, there will be no morning services, only evening services at 5 and 8 p.m. Our order of service and more extensive announcements are available as a link in the Sunday email, posted in the narthex, or through the QR code on the back of your hymnal. You can always get more information on these and many other activities at the welcome table. Again, welcome to Neighborhood Church, whoever you are and wherever you are in your spiritual journey. Welcome to this inclusive faith community connected by love, spirit, and service.
We are pleased to welcome our guest flutist for the day, Ellen Rosenblatt.
Traditionally, Advent is a time of searching for light in the dark. The pagan tradition of Yule is a celebration of the return of the sun. But darkness is important, as important as light. The cold dark of winter is as important to life as the bright warmth of summer, writes my colleague, the Reverend Joe Von Rue. Darkness is the home of entire ecosystems, places where humans cannot survive. Darkness offers us the gift of rest and healing and hope. It is the darkness of sleep that offers us an opportunity for our bodies to heal and rejuvenate. Darkness offers opportunities for beauty and love to live in our lives. Conception begins in the dark womb, and a great prophet was born at night. And the vastness of the universe can only be seen in the darkest of nights. So in this month of the longest of nights, let us welcome the night. Let us give thanks for the life and the rest, the hope, the love, the beauty and healing. Let us give thanks for all that is offered to us only in the darkness. Come, beautiful souls, let us worship together as we embrace the darkness together. We are entering a time of year when the earth grows colder. If you woke up early this morning, you probably felt that. The animals begin to hibernate and the days become continually shorter. This morning marks the beginning of the season of Advent. In the Christian tradition, Advent is the beginning of the church year, recognizing the transforming power of God in the world and looking forward to the birth of Jesus' spiritual light. And Christianity is not alone in celebrating the light at this time of year. Hanukkah, solstice, and Kwanzaa all involve candles and fire and lights as part of their celebration. Each week until Christmas, we will light a new candle on the Advent wreath, a circle of evergreens, along with each of the preceding candles. The flame of each new candle reminds us that something is happening now, but something more is still to come. The light of Advent grows brighter and brighter, guiding us toward personal peace, shared joy, and more love. This morning, we light the first candle. We light this candle as a symbol of hope and expectation. And it is a symbol of hope and expectation. May we dare to open the dark places in our lives and our memories to the healing light of this community. With the creative power of hope, we express our longing for peace and we prepare our hearts to be transformed.
Our opening hymn is number 235, and your gray hymnals are on the screens above. Please rise in body or in spirit and join us in singing Deck the Halls. Deck the hall with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la.
Good morning. I'm Matt Vasco, Neighborhood's Director of Spiritual Exploration, and it is a joy to be with you all this lovely Yule Log Sunday. Woo! Yeah, we love our Yule Log tradition here at Neighborhood Church, a tradition that now spans 30 years of doing this. Yes, and I thank you, Zenaida, for that wonderful pick for our opening hymn, because it is one of those songs we traditionally think of as a Christmas song that mentions Yule and Yuletide blessings and see the blazing Yule before us. And here today to teach us a little bit more about Yule and Yule logs are our senior high youth. Come on up, youth. One of you has to speak.
Who do I call up?
So, tell them about the book.
I'm going to be reading a book called Yule. It's about the tradition of Yule logs, and it's from Granny Hulda. Who do I call up? Are we calling people up?
Thank you for that. So, since we've got these youth up here, we're going to let all of the other children and youth stay in their seats today. So, not everything that they have to show off is PG rated. So, you'll learn more. You'll learn more. So we're going to have the kids stay in their seats today. This is my friend Luke. He's going to be reading our book. Take it away, youth.
What is Yule? Yule is the winter solstice, which is when winter officially begins. It is the shortest day of the year. At Yule, pageants celebrate the return of the light. It is the longest night of the year. After Yule, the light increases and the days start getting longer. The Holy King surrenders to the Oak King at Yule. The Oak King will soon return to power. For now, it is cold and the nights are long and dark. The return of the light at Yule, the sun is getting more powerful. The sun promises that it will be warm again. To honor the promise of the sun, Granny Hulda lights candles at Yule. Only adults should light candles, and they must be very careful with them. Yule season is a time to be with family. Granny Hulda decorates with evergreen tree. Evergreen tree branches and pine cones, which are the symbols of everlasting life. Evergreen wreaths are on an ancient symbol of eternal life. Circles and wheels show how everything keeps going forever and ever. The Yule log is burning every night for 12 nights at Yule. Yule is Granny Hulda's favorite time to read. Yule is also a good time for pageants to cast runes and read to tarot cards. There are many ways to celebrate Yule. Granny Hulda is busy cooking, baking, and decorating her home to the Yule feast. Yule is a time to do nice things for others. At Yule, Granny Hulda makes toys for children. Granny Hulda gives presents to her animal friends at Yule. Granny Hulda celebrates Yule by decorating an altar. A Yule altar is a good way to honor the gods and the goddesses and show all gratitude to the abundance in our lives. Evergreen trees remind us that our spirits are everlasting. Merry Yule.
Good morning. We burn Yule logs as a symbol of hope, faith, and love. The word Yule means time and happy talking. After service, Senior High will be selling Yule logs on the patio. We hope your Yule log will add light and warmth to your family's merry-making this holiday season, and that your celebrations will be blessed with happy talking. Thank you.
More announcements about the Yule logs. The Yule logs will be sold outside, and they range from prices. If you don't like the prices, we can always negotiate. I know inflation has stocked up many things like gas. It has also stocked up Yule log, We are also auctioning off 2 items. One is our lovely wreath here. If you'd like to put in a bid, the paper will be outside after service. The other one, as we said, not everything is for the children, so our owl program made a special little log with all the sexual organs on it. That is, don't worry kids, it's PG-13. Just wait until you're 13, okay? That will also be up for bidding. Thank you guys for letting me be of service.
So we have a Yule log to present Reverend Omega that we all the members of Senior High contributed to, even the advisors. So we'd love to give this to you. I don't know where to put it, but for you.
I was worried they were going to show off the owl log. So, whew, okay. Thank you so much, Senior High Youth. That was a lot of fun. All right, yes, definitely buy a Yule log after service. Prices are negotiable. They're happy to make you happy. And have a Yule log for your holiday season. They're just a joy to have in your home. All right, this time let's sing all of our children and youth out to their spiritual exploration classes.
Giving is a spiritual practice through which we put our values into action. Each Sunday, our congregation dedicates 100% of its contributions to a local social justice organization or activity. In addition to the plate, online giving is available using the QR code on the donations box just outside the sanctuary or using the text instructions shown on the screen. If you wish to make a payment toward your pledge, or contribute to church operations, make a note in the subject line or use an envelope available at the donation box. This week, our gifts go to Doctors Without Borders. Here to tell us more is Delphine Vasco.
Good morning, everyone. This week's organization, Doctors Without Borders, embodies the spirit of compassion and selflessness. They are a beacon of hope in some of the world's most challenging and crisis-ridden regions. The organization operates with a simple yet powerful principle that everyone, regardless of nationality or circumstance, deserves access to quality health care. Imagine living in a world where medical care is a luxury. I don't think it's that hard. Where conflict, though, and disaster strip away the most basic of human rights, the right to health. In these dire situations, Doctors Without Borders steps in. Their doctors, nurses, and support staff work in war zones, natural disaster areas, and regions affected by epidemics, providing immediate and impartial medical care to those who need it most. Doctors Without Borders teams have been working in Palestine since 1989 and continue to work in Gaza and the West Bank during the current war. Currently, there are over 70 hospitals and healthcare centers that are out of service in Gaza, and there are thousands and thousands of people needing medical assistance. Doctors Without Borders has been there to help navigate the ongoing crises, working without needed medical supplies and putting their own lives in danger. Your donation to Doctors Without Borders is a lifeline for those caught in the crossfires of conflict, for those displaced by disasters, and the challenges of poverty. It translates into medical supplies, field hospitals, and the training of healthcare professionals who risk their lives to deliver care where it is most urgently needed. The impact of your support reaches far beyond dollars and cents. It means that a child in a conflict zone can receive vaccinations. A mother in a disaster-stricken area can access prenatal care, and communities grappling with epidemics can receive the medical expertise and resources that they need. By donating today to Doctors Without Borders, you become part of a global community that believes in the power of compassion, empathy, and the fundamental right to health. You become a lifeline for those who have no other options, a beacon of hope in their darkest times. In a world often divided by borders and differences, Doctors Without Borders stands as a testament to what unites us, the shared commitment to alleviate suffering and provide comfort to those in need, and investing in a healthier, more compassionate world. Thank you.
Will today's volunteers please bring the plates forward? Thank you for giving generously.
This carol from Puerto Rico, and probably before that origins in Galicia, Spain, tells the story of the journey of Mary and Joseph to Bethlehem, finding no room in the inn, and the birds of the forest sing them songs to comfort them.
con su esposo hacia Belén. Alegría. paso con su esposo hacia Belén.
As we enter our celebration month of December, today you have already heard us talk about Christmas, Advent, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, and other earth-centered traditions. And we have the capacity in Unitarian Universalism to hold all of these traditions and ones that are unique to being a UU in this world. Because we are entering this special time, we are celebrating Yule logs today, which I am looking at how absolutely adorable this Yule log is right here today. I wanted to make sure we heard also voices from our pagan community. So I have invited Gail Shands to offer a reading to you today. She comes from our chapter of Cups, which is our pagan group that meets here. Thank you, Gail, for offering a reading to us today.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Utterance of the Timeless Word by Reverend Angela Herrera. You bring yourself before the sacred, before the holy, before what is ultimate and bigger than your lone life, bigger than your worries, bigger than your money problems, bigger than the fight you had with your sister and your aches and pains, bigger even than your whole being, yourself who is part of and trapped within and blessed with a body that does what you want and doesn't do what you want and wants all the wrong things and wants all the right things. You stand at the edge of mystery, at the edge of the deep, with the light streaming at you, and you can't hide anything, not even from yourself. When you stand there like that, and then what? Maybe you call your pastor and say, "What is this? What am I looking at? What do I do?" And your pastor comes and stands at the edge with you and looks over. She can't hide anything either. She thinks not even the fact that she doesn't know the answer to your question, and she wonders if you can tell. She thinks of all the generations who've come there before you and cast out words toward the source of that light, wanting to name it. Somehow she thinks to herself, the names stayed tethered to the aging world and got old, while the light remains timeless and burns without dimming. Meanwhile, the armful of worries you brought to the edge of mystery have fluttered to your feet. Unobscured by these, you shine back, light emanating unto light. You with your broken heart and your seeking, you are the utterance of the timeless word. The name of the holy is pronounced through your being. Ashe.
I'd like us to spend a minute in shared silence. You are the utterance of the timeless word. We stand on the edge of mystery together. Let us spend a moment in silence as a community.
continue our celebration of Yule Log Sunday with a fun song we've been working on called Throw the Yule Log On, Uncle John, or Throw the Yule Log On, Uncle John, however you like to sing it.
I would like to clarify that no one will be throwing my Yule log on Uncle John. John is relieved, yes. There was a book that my husband and I used to read to our children when they were very, very young. I don't remember the exact title, perhaps some of you do if you had it in your family libraries, but it featured a very young tiger who was afraid of the dark and had a hard time going to sleep. And of course, his thoughtful and very patient mother taught him about the importance of rest during the night. There were a few lines in particular that have stuck with me all this time, and it has been a few years since I've read it. The mother gently purring to her son, "Go to sleep, little tiger," and saying, "For the dark is just the other side of light." And I thought that was such a beautiful message as we enter this month of the longest nights. I think about this line, "Dark is just the other side of light." So I'd like to mention a few items. candles for Hanukkah, a menorah, candles for solstice, and some Christmas candles, a chalice for our shared Unitarian Universalist faith, relics and remembrances of Advent and the cycles of nature, artwork highlighting the seasons and illuminated by the winter sun that streams in from the western and southern windows, a sparkly tablecloth that recalls the stars of the winter sky, books and photographs, some for and by children and for and by loved ones of this community. These are just a few of the items that you will find in the library of the neighborhood house right now. So if you were to walk over to the neighborhood house right next door and go in the front door, in the area that is sometimes an interior patio and also sometimes serves as the bar for events that we hold here. It is a true multi-use space. If you walk in there today after service, you will see that it has been dubbed the Library of Solstice Mysteries. This space has been lovingly curated for you the third month in a row by a group of folks here, Elizabeth Erickson being one, and a group of Chalice Circle participants. For those of you who have visited this meditation space earlier this fall for Samhain or Dia de los Muertos or a celebration of your ancestors, you saw how beautiful it was, how poignant this meditation space was. And if you go there now, you will see how contemplative, how thoughtful, how curated it is. You are invited to spend time in that space. I know that I do during the week. It is a beautiful creation for this community. If you'd like to know when it's available, write us an email and we'll let you know when we're available in the office during the week for you to visit. It's particularly good at about 3:45. The sun is going down earlier after all. Today, the first Sunday of December, we begin our celebration of mystery and the wonder of the season. For those of us who find Christianity and Christian teachings and traditions to be the cornerstone of our theology, we find solace in the layers of spiritual meaning in Advent. In Progressive Sundays, we will celebrate hope and peace, joy and love, building towards the celebration of the birth of the giver of spiritual light, of Jesus, and the transformative power of God in our lives. For others of us, we find meaning in gathering with friends and family for Hanukkah, the festival of lights, honoring the miraculous burning of oil for 8 nights during the dedication of the temple. For many of us who find meaning in earth-centered religions, either of this region or based in the teachings of the cultures of Northern Europe, lights and the burning of specialty items such as Yule logs celebrate the sun as well as the long nights cycle that is a dance of the axial tilt of our home, Mother Earth. And I think it's appropriate to mention one of my favorite yard signs this time of year. Many of us are familiar with the yard sign that says, Jesus is the reason for the season, and to that I say yes. My other favorite one is axial tilt is the reason for the season, and I say yes. And I think it's probably only in a church like this where we could theoretically have both of those out on our front lawn and say yes to both. What all of these celebrations have in common is an acknowledgement of mystery that is characterized by the delicate balance of precarity and abundance, the natural cycles of the sun, of the long nights and the short days, of rest and hibernation as restorative processes that prepare us for the coming new life, for the vibrancy and exaltation of hope and coming peace. And yes, dear ones who find solace in science and the verifiable fact can also find wonder and mystery in this season too. I'd like to read to you a selection from Ursula Goodenough, who is a preeminent biologist, and she finds in nature the inspiration for her understanding of sacred. But she didn't always find it there. So I'd like to read a passage from her where she explains this difficulty. She writes, "I've had a lot of trouble with the universe." This is a preeminent scientist. "I've had a lot of trouble with the universe," she says. "It began soon after I was told about it in physics class. I was perhaps 20 and I went on a camping trip where I found myself sleeping in a sleeping bag looking up into the crisp Colorado night. Before I could look around for Orion and the Big Dipper, I was overwhelmed with terror. The panic became so acute that I had to roll over and bury my face in my pillow. All the stars that I see are part of but one galaxy. There are some 100 billion galaxies in the universe, with perhaps 100 billion stars in each one, occupying magnitudes of space that I cannot begin to imagine. Each star is dying, exploding and exploding again, and splitting atoms and fusing nuclei under enormous temperatures and pressures. Our sun, too, will die, frying the Earth to a crisp during its heat death." This is a true holiday story, isn't it? "Spewing its bits and pieces into the frigid nothingness of curved space-time. That night, the sky was ruined for me," she says. "I would never be able to look at it again. I wept into my pillow the long, slow tears of adolescent despair, and when later I encountered the famous saying from the quote, a famous quote from the physicist Steven Weinberg, 'The more the universe seems comprehensible, the more it seems pointless,' I wallowed in poignant nihilism. A bleak emptiness overtook me whenever I thought about what was really going on out there in the cosmos or deep in the atom, so I did my best to not think about such things." But she goes on. "But since then, I found a way to defeat this nihilism that lurks in the infinite and the infinitesimal. I have come to understand that I can deflect the apparent pointlessness that I can see by realizing that I don't have to seek a point in any of it. Instead, I can just see it as the locus of mystery. The mystery of why there is anything at all, the mystery of where the laws of physics come from, and the mystery of why the universe seems so strange. Mystery, inherently pointless, inherently shrouded in its own absence of category, the clouds passing across the face of the deity and the stained glass images of heaven." She goes on to write, "The word God is often used to name this mystery. A concept known as deism proposes that God created the universe, orchestrating the Big Bang so as to author its laws, and then stepped back and allowed things to pursue their own course. For me, deism doesn't work because I can only think of a creator in human terms, and the concept of a human-like creator of muons and neutrinos has no meaning for me. But more profoundly, deism spoils my covenant with mystery. To assign attributes to mystery is to disenchant it, to take away its luminance." I'm going to repeat that last line. To assign attributes to mystery is to disenchant it, to take away its luminance. So here we are, positioned on the edge of this season of mystery, of hope and love and peace, when long nights and short days remind us of the cycles of lives, of grief and loss, and how they are balanced with celebration and illumination. We deck the halls with boughs of holly. Thank you to our custodians for making that happen. We create Yule logs for burning, warding off those long nights and creating space for rituals and for storytelling, promoting a strong new year and warding off the spirits of evil that may linger in the long nights. We sing other songs of the season. People look east. The time is near of the crowning of the year. Make your house fair as you are able. Trim the hearth and set the table. People look east and sing today. Love, the guest, is on the way. Stars keep the watch when night is dim. One more light and the bowl shall brim, shining beyond the frosty weather. Bright as sun and moon together, people look east and sing today. Love, the star, is on the way. Love, the star, is on the way. So as we enter this season of the celebrations of life, the celebrations of love, festivals of candles and light, the guest, the rose, the star, and its impending arrival, let us live into that anticipation and embrace the unknown mystery. For mystery does not imply a known or a fact. Mystery simply implies the possibility that something could not happen. But lest we give in to nihilism, it is precisely that balance that is required for mystery to be magic, for mystery to be poignant and important. I'm reminded of this quote about hope as we enter the season of hope and aspiration in Advent. The Reverend Nancy McDonnell Ladd writes, "Hope is not just another form of optimism. Optimism tells a preordained narrative. It is an assertion that the scales have already been tipped towards triumph. Optimism is always busy absolving somebody, but hope is different. Like faith, hope is the exact opposite of certainty." She goes on to say, "Hope does not require ease. It does not require naivete either. It is real, it is tangible, and it is enduring. Even after the good news has all been declared, even when the authentic stories of lives do not have fairy tale beginnings, middles, or ends. Hope is real." To believe in the power of hope is also to acknowledge that there is despair in the world, perhaps in your heart. To aspire towards joy and peace is also to know that there is suffering, there is war, there is death in this world that we feel in our hearts. To honor the long and darkest nights by lighting a candle or putting up Christmas lights or burning a Yule log is to acknowledge that there are times when there is no light at all in our lives. So if you hold sadness or grief in your heart during the season of lights, take solace in knowing that this is part of how we also feel joy and comfort. If you weep at the state of our world, know also that there are many people who work to make it better. If you find the long nights cause you languor or lethargy, that's what they're supposed to do. Rest and know that the sun will be reborn and the long days of summer will return. Our celebrations of this time of year, after all, are not celebrations if they represent the status quo of normal equilibrium. Rather, they are celebrations because they remind us that there is also scarcity and fear and want. The mystery lingers in the space between. The mystery lingers in making and appreciating the magic we create. The mystery is in why the extra strand of Christmas lights is always the answer. There are never too many. The mystery is in why the cookies of this season taste better than at any other point in the year. The mystery is in how the oil lasted longer than it should have. The mystery is that the Yule log burns brighter than any other regular log. The mystery of the season is that hope does not require ease or a preordained narrative of success. The mystery is that hope admits uncertainty, and it is real as it guides us into this season. Dark is just the other side of light. The mystery is in the turning of one side over to the other. Love, the star, the returning and rebirth of the sun, is on its way, after all. May it be so.
Our closing hymn is number 226 in your hymnal. Please rise in body or in spirit and join us in singing hymn number 226, People Look East.
We gathered this hour, as suggested in the words of Gretchen Haley, to surrender to the mystery, to release ourselves from the needing to know, from the yearning to have it all figured out. We gather today to release the burden of believing we have all the control or none. Here in our song and in our silence, our stories and our sharing, we have made a space for new breath. We have made a space for new healing and new possibilities. And that is courage. That is courage forged in the fires, in the candlelight of our coming together. We feel it in the spirit that comes alive as our act of faith as we gather, because we believe still that a new world is possible and that we are creating it right here and right now. Amen.